All right, welcome to the end of GM Live. This is Jeremiah Kipainoi. Welcome to the show. Another beautiful Wednesday. It is Karibu Sana. We do appreciate having you on this beautiful day. Today we will be from Meru County, joined by two amazing activists as well. We know that one is a journalist, so we'll talk about ethics in this work as well. Karibu Sana to the end of GM Live. Meru County, as you know, is in the central part of this country, edging towards the north. So we'll be talking about issues regarding FGM, culture, as well as how cooperative our authorities and how coordinating or how we are able to coordinate activities in that county as well. Stay tuned. Just remember to leave your comments wherever you are, and we will be reading them live. As you can see on your screen, you are able to see US comments just stream past. We also have a poll on Facebook, so be sure to answer. And just the question you're asking is, are we doing enough to end FGM in Meru County? Just remember, we had campaigns like FGM Killed Jelida, and we will be talking about that as well. So straight to our guests today. I already see them ready. As you can see, I see Catherine Diakono. Karibu Sana. We do appreciate having you here today. Lots of work you've done in Meru, and we will be talking about that. Also, we have Nkunja Murangi Omami, a journalist, and we'll be talking about what radio station or what media house you work with as well. Thank you very much. First of all, appreciations for the work that you are doing in the grassroots as well as online, because that's also lots of work and lots of impact. Karibu Sana to the show. Kate, how are you faring? How is Corona treating you as well? Yeah. Perfect. And you, Mr. Nkunja, very unique name it is. Can you hear me?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And I'm in Meru, and we are trying very well to fight.
Sorry, I think
yes,
we lost you a little bit.
I'm a journalist by profession.
You are a journalist by profession. All right, we're gonna get him very clearly. A little bit of a challenge on his connection, but we'll try as much as possible to be able to keep on going with this show and communicate by the end of the day. So Kate, FGM Killed Jelida, Meru really brought Meru to the spotlight, and that was a girl who died from sepsis due to FGM in Meru County. Small background about that. What happened?
Okay, it was 2018 December. We had received a lot of cases of FGM, and most of the people we were working with, these journalists like Nkoja. Mm-hmm. So we coordinate with them, and this fateful day on a Sunday morning, we received a call from one of our people on the ground.
Yeah.
On those signs of Jelida's place.
Yeah.
So the moment we received a call, we were told a girl was circumcised. Actually, at first it wasn't about circumcision. The grandfather had gone to a church.
Yeah.
to look for the chief or the assistant chief.
Yeah.
To give them a burial permit.
Yeah.
So that they can bury this kid who died, because they had lied to the authority at first.
Yeah.
The girl died out of stomach complication.
Yeah.
Now the assistant chief had already given out the burial permit, but some people gathered. They noticed there was a commotion.
Yeah.
And the next thing what happened is that they tried to inquire, and the old man, the grandfather, was saying that the girl died out of stomachache. And now some people advised the assistant chief, what you're doing is not right. What if this girl, before someone is buried nowadays, things have changed. You have to get a postmortem be done.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that is the time the old mzee realized, hey, their tools have been discovered.
Yeah, and I'll just cut you short because you also don't have time. I know maybe just a brief. I know there was lots of campaigns online, on media, that's mainstream media as well, and also grassroots campaigns where there was a demonstration as well in Lari. And that also resulted to the involvement of the Njuri Ncheke, as well as having this child be buried, because a girl that is not cut or does not have a child, a woman, I say, that does not have a child, is not buried in that culture.
Yes, in Meru culture, a girl, someone who doesn't have a baby, who has not given birth, is considered barren. That is one thing. Even if that girl was only 14 years,
yeah,
and the community and considered her barren.
Yeah.
So we had to involve the parents who are not ready to bury this girl in their home state after it was confirmed, after 3 months actually.
Yeah.
The burial happened after 3 months. That is when all this time there was like a tug of war between the parents.
Yeah.
Because they had already paid the hospital to dispose the body of the leader.
Okay.
And now, yes, that is now the place where we approach the Council of Elders during Cheke, who intervened, and the girl now through this, because the grandfather was one of the elders of during Cheke. So because of that, and he was fearing the curse and everything, that is the time now through the intervention of during Cheke.
They allowed burial.
But the burial which was done was not like a normal burial. She was buried at the far end of their farm, okay, where no one can access.
All right. I think I'll cut you short on that. I know that brings out so many issues that in regards to culture, as well as just the conditions of FGM in that county. And I just go straight to our journalist today. You've covered lots of cases and even reports of FGM during this time of COVID-19. A small background about what's happening at this time in regards to FGM, Mr. Nkunja, in Meru County.
Yes, very well. When my friend Nkunja, as I said earlier, the issues about the FGM is still enshrined in Meru, and it is much inculcated to people. Because as we are speaking yesterday.
All right, we are having some trouble connecting to Mr. Nkunja, but when we stabilize our connection, we'll surely be rolling back. So we are not getting you very clearly, Mr. Nkunja, but we will try for sure to have that resolved, and then once we are stable enough, we will be coming straight to you. Very important conversation on FGM in Meru County, and we will still go on with that conversation. Remember to tweet and leave your comments wherever you are, and we will be able to read them and we'll try to read them as much as possible. We are live on Twitter, on YouTube, as well as on Facebook. I see there is no limit on Twitter, says awesome men and FGM. Prince Lemayan says end FGM live following from Kitengela town in Kajiado County. Thank you very much. Paul Naiputari says following from Loisaba Conservancy, that's in the northern part of Kenya. Bunny Hollywood says, Bunny here from the UK. I have 3 schools and 2 computer labs in Kenya, and we are supported by Africa Pads. Thank you very much for that as well. Keep the comments coming. Ask questions, because this is where they'll be answered. I hope that you now have a better connection, Mr. Nkunja, and we'll just be heading straight to you. FGM in Meru County during COVID-19. Where are we at?
There are being a COVID-19 issues happening in Meru County.
Yeah.
Residents have not yet understand about COVID-19 and the FGM.
Yeah.
Because as we are speaking now, yesterday there were a case of a girl who was being.
Oh no, we're still losing him. He says that yesterday there were cases of FGM. Go on. I think we lost you. We lost you where you're talking about FGM at this time.
Yes, the parents have taken the advantage of this prolonged holiday.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Many parents many parents have taken the advantage of this prolonged holiday and all of a sudden closure of the school.
Yeah.
Take their girls, their baby girl child to circulation place for circumcision.
Yeah.
And as we are talking, we want much of diversification of culture of Meru to fight FGM.
Yeah.
Because it is as much, it looks as if it is much enshrined in the culture issues more than a moral duty. Because only during this period of COVID school closure, more than 5 girls have been reported having been undergone FGM.
Is that in Meru town, Larry? Where?
No, this is not. This is in Igembe.
Mm-hmm.
Igembe is a cosmopolitan, and there are three sub-counties of Igembe, which is in Meru County.
Yeah.
So FGM issues in Igembe is much deep, and it needs a homegrown solution to fight it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are talking about issues about FGM during COVID-19, and you are talking about 5 cases that were reported yesterday.
Yes, there are one in Kangeta.
Yeah.
Others, especially when yesterday when we were talking with the DCC of the Gembe Central.
Yeah.
He said that many parents have taken advantage of this long holiday.
Yeah.
To take their girls in a circulation place to undergo FGM.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that as well. Kate, just coming on straight to you. We've had cases of FGM in Meru before, as we had even talked about Jelida earlier. But there are some issues that are arising in regards to FGM in that county. And it was split actually when the counties were coming, because initially it was just a vast area of Meru as was it a district then, I think. Now we have different counties and different implementation plans. There are some sub-counties that actually, like he said, Igembe, have a high prevalence of FGM. FGM and the law, lots of struggles are going on in that area. Are the authorities really supporting in regards to FGM? Kate?
Yes, especially the Meru County.
All right,
the Meru County government has enacted a law, a gender and the child rights law, which is now ineffective to fight FGM. Yeah. And other issues related with the child abuse.
All right.
Now,
all right.
Since the government has taken and has put its hands in the war against this, the war against FGM is now being mitigated.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Kate, you are an activist, and he's answered that because he's been able to as well deal with it from a journalistic point of view. You are working on the ground. Is the government really supporting, apart from the policies?
The government is...
Yeah, that goes to Catherine. Yeah, Catherine?
Okay, the policies are there, but it is one thing to have policies, and it is another thing to put those policies in, to implement the policy. And for the policies to be implemented, there must be a goodwill by the government and the people who works with the government.
Right.
That is the problem where we have been facing. Because like last week, but one, we had a case of a married woman who has been going through ridicule because she's not even circumcised. At the moment we sent this lady to the area chief and everyone who is involved, she is returned and abua ini mambo ya nyumbani.
They are told those are home issues.
Yes, home issues which should be handled by you should come down, we sit down. Right. And these people, they are threatening this married woman, who has children, who is almost to be called a grandmother, and they're telling her they will circumcise.
Right.
When you contact the authority in that area, they tell her, come tomorrow, come day after tomorrow. No, you wonder, where is the goodwill to fight this thing?
Kate, I know that the anti-FGM board has been there severally in Meru, actually, talking about FGM specifically. Has that made an impact, or is there any partnership that actually is making an impact by the end of the day?
Okay. For instance, since the time we started the campaign of FGM and the story of FGM killed Delinda, they have come there. Of course, as I keep on saying,
yeah,
boardroom meetings cannot solve the solution on the ground.
Yeah.
The people who goes to the meeting in the boardroom
yeah,
are the people who are going for allowances. The person who is suffering on the ground is that young woman, is that young lady.
Yeah.
So what I can say, they have come there, their presence has been felt, but nothing much has been done.
All right. And now this goes to our journalist today. We really do appreciate having you here and holding on still. We have so many issues in regards to that. We've heard about even doctors covering this up with time, because sometimes they do not reveal that maybe the patients actually died from FGM. What are the authorities doing in regards to curbing this, just to try to curb the FGM apart from the policy?
Nothing at all. The authorities doing nothing cause.
Mm-hmm.
Let us look on diversify it in this dimension.
All right.
The politicians, the political leaders are fearing to mention about the issue, to fearing of losing the votes.
Yeah.
Chiefs themselves too are not much adored, or they fear the society run.
Yeah.
Because this matter is much enshrined and can locate with the people's blood. Because there are many occasions. Let's say, as God has said, then during check us. Today, may I tell you or may I teach you one thing?
Yeah.
You know, in a during check line, uncircumcised women cannot grind a porridge for them.
They cannot grind porridge.
As much as they say that they fight FGM,
mm-hmm.
it is easier said than done, because culturally or traditionally, uncircumcised woman cannot grind a porridge.
Yeah.
For an herald and during second round,
mm-hmm.
and then if at all you happen to grind, that porridge cannot be taken in a shrine.
They cannot be taken in a what? Sorry, I think we missed
that porridge which is grind by uncircumcised woman cannot be being drunk in a
shrine,
in a herald shrine.
Okay, all right.
Secondly, in a social gathering, especially that is in male circumcision field. Uncircumcised woman cannot attend.
All right.
Neither can she cook a food for any occasion. So it is only in books and words that is being said, but there is no goodwill at all to fight this vice of FGM in Igembe. Because even as the elders, as much as we say that we diversify a culture to feed the war against FGM, it is only a lip service, which only endorse in the mouth. For today, for example, if I'm going to be correlated into an elder, my wife, who is uncircumcised, cannot cook a porridge for them. So unless I go back to my mom, who can cook a porridge for them.
All right. And that really means a lot, because it's cultural and deeply ingrained on how people should behave in different contexts, right?
Yes, it is much culturally inculcated. That's why we say if this war of FGM in the game is something to go by, unless we come down and initiate a homegrown solution, we understand why is it important to fight it. Because some cultural institutions, me as a tradition or as somebody who has gone through American custom, I cannot allow uncircumcised woman to cook or grind a porridge for an initiate of a male in a home where the boy is being circumcised in a traditional way.
All right. It's still part of the way, because as we talk about even talking about these issues, we always talk about how to make it relevant and where to start off from. So you're saying that if a boy has been cut, for example, then an uncut woman cannot prepare forage for them? porridge for them. Sorry.
No, yeah, it is a way of life because
Yeah.
many people in Meru believe that there's no way a woman can, a girl can become a woman without undergoing a cut.
All right. I get it. Yeah.
An uncircumcised girl culturally cannot know, doesn't know how to keep.
All right.
Orongulu,
All right.
a husband, to answer love.
All
so
right.
it is a motto that a girl cannot be a woman without undergoing a FGM.
All right, and that's cultural. So let's just stop that there. I see Fontanari Dolores joining in. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming in. We really do appreciate having you. Thank you very much for your comments as well. Godfrey Okumu, Sante Sana for joining in. Remember that Tony Mwebia and Antonia Sophia are on the chat, and they will be shooting or answering the questions as you shoot them. Straight to you, Kate. I know there are activities that you undertaken before, including in the past, I think 2015, where you've been talking about transition of these girls through alternative rites of passages. Do those work now, since you once tried it? That's for Catherine.
Okay, what I can say is yes and no.
Yeah.
It depends with an area.
All right.
An area like Meru, where I come from, ARP might work and might not work.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why that's the reason why it can work in some instances.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, where you get to connect with you get this young girl.
All right.
It will work.
All right. So it depends on the location and the context
yes.
as well. Okay.
Now there is another problem because
Right.
in Meru County where they are circumcising married women.
All right.
So, like some of the cases we have been handling is where like a parent, a mother and her children, they are forced into FGM.
Yeah.
So in this case, you wonder who will you take for alternative right? Is it the mother? How will it be? So I'm saying in this case, it depends. That the best approach, I don't know whether we will come to there. The best approach is the way you involve the whole community.
All right.
The issue of FGM involves the whole community.
So you have to involve the whole community, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the whole community. What I'm saying, you have to involve, like the coaches, then the elders, the married men. We can call them the young men, like the way they are called in Maasai, the Moran.
Yeah.
You involve the women
as well,
and even the young girls. Everyone they know. You start from the community. Let the community come up with their own solution. Okay. Let them see this is our problem. We have a problem here. Me, one thing I can say as Catherine, I'm a big fan, or I'm a big support of our culture.
Yeah.
But my motto is, if something is doing harm, we have to support. FGM, the reason why we fight it is because it is against the human right.
All right, Kate, I'll just cut you short there. Lots of questions coming in, and I know you've been part of this, and we are now just streaming the comments that are coming in. Godfrey Okumu says, does fighting harmful social norms work? In one sentence, Kate, does it work to fight social norms? FGM sometimes is considered as a social norm.
Okay, to fight a social norm, you can't. Since this is something which was not started in one day.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, FGM, it wasn't started when I was born.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my great-grandmother went through FGM.
Yeah.
So according to my community, FGM is something which is okay to everyone.
Yeah.
So for you to fight this social norm, you have to create another norm.
Yeah.
And the norm we have created, a new norm we have created in this, we are trying to create, and we will try to create. Women have to be empowered, because one of the reasons why women go ahead, girls are circumcised, is for them to be married.
All right.
That is one thing.
Right.
To find husbands.
Yeah.
And when you look at time before, like the time of my grandmother, they had no other thing. I mean, the lifespan of a woman, it is to be born, be raised up, and be circumcised and then get married. Now we are changing this norm by, introducing something new, like a girl. A girl will be married, but before this, let this girl go through education. Because when you find one side effect of FGM is school dropout. So let this girl go through education. She goes to the next level she wants to go. We empower this woman. One of the things which FGM was a way to empower a woman. I can say that.
In the past, it was a way to empower women.
Yes, in the past. Because they ain't no education. Because now we have better ways to empower women, which are harmless to a woman.
Okay.
And this, So I'm saying changing a social norm takes time.
It's not easy.
It takes time, but the more it needs patience actually. And that's the reason why I keep on saying, okay, the law is there, but we will continue jailing these people. But after you jail them, the impact has already been made. There's a better way to change this thing. Okay, the law, let us teach our people. FGM is bad. And then later on, we can take more strict measures after they have learned that this thing is bad.
I'll cut you short there. Bunny Hollywood says you're doing a great job raising awareness in Kenya. We have major issues here in the UK with FGM. Please expound those as well as Bunny. You must engage with government is what he says. I work with Honorable Esther Parasaris, who is doing great work on FGM. We'll talk about that as well in regards to how the government is faring in Meru County. We know we've talked about policies before. We've talked about what they are actually doing, but sometimes, like in the case of Jelida, because that's something that I'd say I was involved in a little bit. We had some of the government sides or factions denying responsibility that actually the girl was coming from their area or area of jurisdiction, basically. Government and taking FGM as an issue in itself. I know you'd say that there is nothing that's being done, but looking at the government, like the office of the president, we talk about the chief, we talk about the DCC, and the county commissioners. Are they taking it seriously? Because the president actually made a declaration to end FGM in Kenya by 2022. And that goes to our journalist.
Okay, what I can say is I've seen some changes for the post, is it last year, but when the president made a declaration in Australia, I think women deliver. There has been, and then if he has been saying by 2022, there has been some changes. Because for the first time, I can say in Meru County, in the Igembe North, a circumciser was arrested, which has never happened before. Because most of these, as we're saying, most of these chiefs have been colluding with the perpetrators. But for the first time, we have seen them taking an action. So I'm saying things. If the order comes from above, they will listen to it more than the written laws.
And by above, you mean high authorities, like maybe the office of the president from his actual office at State House. Thank you very much for that. I'll just go to you, Mr. Murungi.
Because we have seen the change.
All right, thank you very much for that. I'll go straight to you, Mr. Murungi. You've been covering these issues for quite some time now. Do you think the office of the president is actually doing this as much as it should be?
Thank you very much. May I tell you that as Carly has said, immediately the office of the president is Honorable Excellency Mugai Kenyatta made the declaration that whoever will be caught circumcising or colluding to circumcise Ankara will face the total wrath of the law. In Igembe, especially where I'm talking, the chiefs were warned. And chiefs being the local representative of the president, the office of the president in the village, they took the matter serious. And then that's the time we saw them actively working to bring the culprit to the books. But as much as, because the president will not keep agitating or repeating the decree all along, immediately the president wanting evaporated.
Yeah.
Things return back to the normal.
As soon as the president said no FGM,
As soon as the president said there's no FGM,
yeah,
the word of the president took almost, if I may say, only a month
yeah,
for the other to act.
yeah,
But when the president wanting evaporated,
yeah,
the things stand into normal in usual way of doing things.
all right. So
Again, one
yeah,
thing which I want you to know,
yes,
as we are talking of Meru County, know that Meru County is segmented into 3 sub-tribes. Meru County is comprised of Imentis,
yeah,
who are the lead Merians.
all right,
It is comprised of Tiganians and the Gembes.
yeah,
The matter of FGM is mass enshrined in Igembe.
all right,
And the so-called anti-FGM fighters, many wheels from the harbor side of Imentis,
yeah,
and even the county authority, many of them comes from the upper sides.
yeah,
That's why, and they don't know how again do their things.
yeah,
Unless we come back to the roots. As we are talking, it is unless Catherine, who is sitting beside you,
yeah,
comes on the ground and empowered in Igembe to fight it.
yeah,
And I as a journalist and someone who knows about the Igembe way of doing things,
yeah,
that's the time we can fight it
yeah,
to the bitter head. But
Yeah.
when people come from other sub-counties and the upper side, they will not know about it.
yeah.
So these things want a local be empowered to fight it.
Well said.
Yes.
Well said. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for that. You've talked about just working with the local communities because you're dealing with social norms as well. And the next question just goes to Catherine. Girls at this time, especially in Tigania and Igembe, how are they accessing education at this time, especially during COVID-19? There have been an issue with them accessing education as well.
They are not accessing any education at all. Many parts of Igembe don't have access to internet, electricity. It is scantily covered. For especially the area which I come from,
Yeah.
Adroyene, no electricity at all. Recently, we heard that the CS of education, Mr. Magoa, saying that the children are learning through internet and what have you,
Yeah.
e-learning.
Yeah.
That is just a pipe dream. Nothing is happening. Men are not learning. How can you learn without
All right, we lost him. Kate, where are we in regards to that? He said that there is nothing that's happening. Where are we in that regard, Catherine? If you can hear me.
Okay, what I can
Yeah.
say.
Go on, Catherine.
What
Yeah.
What I can say is this: when it comes to e-learning, it's such a different story because e-learning requires someone to have a smartphone or
Yeah.
a laptop,
Yeah.
good internet, which when you look at where we come from, Igembe and the area of Nyambene, that is the Nyambene,
Yeah.
and even the whole of Meru County.
Yeah.
Most of these students or pupils, they are from. They are not from. They are from Mabo background,
Yeah.
where they cannot afford this.
Yeah.
And now looking at that, there is nothing I can say. It is like the 99%. Because me, I'm talking like someone who was in a local primary school,
Yeah.
which I was.
Yeah.
In that primary school I was, it is the same primary school over 15 years ago.
No change.
There's no change. So I'm wondering if this primary school has no electricity, even a secondary school in the same area.
Kate, I'll cut you short on that.
When I go,
Sorry, I'll just cut you short on that. I know that COVID-19 has changed lots of things, but education normally in those areas, are girls actually able to access school at this time? Do they really go to school in Tigania and Igembe?
no, it is again actually since the social distance, the schools were closed, so everyone went back to their home. No school going on.
All right. So what I'm asking is, normally, how is the turnout of girls in school? Normally.
Very poor.
Okay. To start, let us say, for instance, during the start,
Yeah.
like from when they enroll in nursery school,
Yeah.
the number is high. So as they continue going up to class 5, to class 6,
Yeah.
to class 7,
Yeah.
the level of dropout rate
Increases.
goes high.
Yeah.
Increases.
All right.
That is what has been happening for the longest period.
So, Bona Murungi, you said very low. Maybe you have some background information on how low it is normally, and what challenges this COVID-19 would actually pose to these girls at this time.
COVID-19 issue and this period of it has posed a big and gigantic threat to our child in Igembe. The handage goes and the many things that I have forgotten my mother's song. What will my children sing?
Mm-hmm.
And
I have forgotten my mother's song. What will my children sing? What does that mean?
What will my children sing?
What does that mean?
This means that many cases of the girls who are not being circumcised, they are saying that it is a curse which was left
Yeah.
by our mothers or my grandfathers.
Yeah.
Last, I must have my children and then go cut. If I will not do it, I will face the cut. So education and the importance of education.
Yeah.
To a baby girl in the game, it has not been much rooted.
Yeah.
To know, because the girls know many who are going circumcised, they say, may I be circumcised so that I can be married.
Mm-hmm.
Because they believe in intervillage marriage.
Yeah.
If the day girl is not educated, she will not be Nairobi.
Yeah.
And if a girl is not educated to a far school where he can get to be married in other tribes,
Yeah.
He is umbrella of the village.
Yeah.
So, for him to qualify in a village, the parameter or the gauge for a girl to be a woman in the village, unless he undergo the cut. Because if not, if I married in the village and my wife is not the cut, she cannot go there. She will deal with a lot of stress because she will not go and undergo the normal way of doing things as for the villagers women.
Wow.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
this time of COVID-19, education is going to a child. It is mass direction because in Igembe, it is where the girls are sent to fire to get firewood, to fetch water, knowing that even the water is a problem. So, when going to fetch water in a far away, going to collect the firewood, looking after the children, to helpless mothers who are going for vivaroas in these farms. So the girl, if I may say, not for the last 2 months, not many girls who have touched a book. If you believe me, you.
Mm-hmm. Girls are not touching books. Okay. I'll just move.
Yeah, not.
I'll just move on because, of course, schools are closed at this time, and it's very difficult to access schools as well. So it's of course a very difficult time for learners at this time as well. But we just go straight to what we had talked about earlier. Mr. Murungi, you had talked about girls actually being detained, and that's one question that many people are asking for you to expound. We really want to know what's happening right now in regards to the girls that were actually at risk of being cut or even have been cut at this time.
A cast like a wheel.
Not a cast, a cut. Like the girls that were cut or were that underwent FGM in Igembe. Yeah, you're telling us about cases of 5 girls, and we wanted you to expound much more on that. What's the state? Have the cutters been arrested? What are the policing saying in that regard?
Even if they were the perpetrators were arrested.
Yeah.
the cases goes nowhere. Because even the law enforcers,
Yeah.
you cannot force somebody who says, I'm doing this out of my tradition, I'm doing this for fear of my dead, my mother or my dead grandmother will.
Yeah.
Again, many cats in the game are happening as a will. Today, if I'm dying, or if I'm dying, I will leave a will to my children, to my grandchildren, that none of you will not allow to be married without a Langwena card.
Yeah.
So it is a will, and none can evoke the will of the dead.
None can evoke the will of the dead. That's what you say.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. Kate, we would like to start wrapping up right now. I know we've always spoken about ways to deal with perpetrators of FGM, and we've had cases as those that have been recently reported in Igembe as well. What is normally done to cutters in regards to just FGM? Do you think the cases are easy to follow? Are cases lost?
Okay, what I can say, what I've noted for the few years I've been in activism, nothing for the first time, for almost 5 years I've been there. It is for the first time I've had a circumciser, as I said. Some people at least have been arrested. That was sometimes last year, December. At least we had a group of people arrested. These other cases, the police, I don't know what happens, but I can say it is corruption. I know what happens. It is corruption which goes on. The circumcisers, they are known, but they are scot-free. When
circumcisers are known, but they go scot-free.
Yes.
All
One
right.
person who is arrested is the mother and the victim. I will call them the victim, the circumcised girl. Now my question is, maybe this girl was forced to be circumcised. But this girl will end up in a dirty cell where she may contract infection, because it has happened. Most of the cases we have been having where the girls are taken to a very dirty police station, at the end of it, they have wounds, and these wounds, actually there is a problem in the handling of the victim, this girl, because they are taken to the police station,
and then they keep in
their
cells.
way of handling is very, the wounds are infected.
Yeah.
And there is a place, and it becomes so bad. Last time, many times, these girls end up even dying because of infection. Because most of the death, most of the FGM-related death, it is because of
infections.
Good infection.
Okay, sepsis. Okay, so
yes.
I just head on to an issue that you've talked about, and we have a question coming in. Safe houses and child protection units in police stations. You've said that child protection units in police stations do not exist if the girls are being also placed in cells. That's what you say.
They are put, for instance, when you go to these cells where they are put, it is the same place. You know the status in. Let me talk like a Kenyan. The status of our cells, where there is a bucket for waste product, that is the same place. And this person has a fresh wood which has not been dressed up. The person, because you know most of these people, their way of doing FGM, it is a traditional way.
Yeah.
No medication at all. I'm not supporting medication FGM, but FGM is FGM.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're saying that these cells are not hygienic at all, and sometimes the way the conditions are then predispose these children to contracting infections.
We have been having so many cases of girls with infection, but what I would recommend to whoever is concerned, the authorities, when you arrest a girl who has been circumcised, first of all, take this girl to the hospital. Let the case be handled from the hospital, not from the cell, especially for someone who has been circumcised. You can take anyone else to the even someone who is saying I did it at my own will.
Yeah.
Don't take these people to the cell.
Yeah.
Take them to the hospital. We can address them once, because most of the time, many times, we have lost many people in Igembe because of FGM, and the fact remains it is because of sepsis.
All right, thank you very much. I
Again.
just go back to Mr. Murungi. Same question, and we can hardly see you now. Same question. The condition of the cells as well as safe spaces for girls.
Again, I concur with the Kate as he's saying, circumcision, both circumcision, either of male or female,
Yeah.
is not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
The aim of circumcision is to inculcate the pain to the insect,
Yeah.
so that it can be. It is like cropping off. A time when crop is in the nursery, there's a time when it is being cropped off.
Yeah.
So the mission of a circumcision is to prepare a girl to be a total woman.
Yeah.
So all the avenues, or all or even the circumcision arena, even the arenas where they are kept,
Yeah.
it is and that is a something.
Yeah.
Again, many being young girls underage,
Yeah.
they are who are supposed to be subjected to a juvenile court. This thing is not happening. So they come from a hostile condition. Even in a place of seeking law, it is still a hostile.
Yeah.
Because being a minor, they're supposed to be handled in a juvenile court for leniency,
Yeah.
arbitration.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. This is happening. Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for that. Kate, to you, we know that cases of FGM still happen in secret, and sometimes resources as well as access sometimes becomes a very big challenge, especially in that part of the country. We are talking about cultural norms. We are talking about people who are defending people because they are relatives as well as friends or communities, or just do not want to get involved. You've talked about things like bribing. So hypothetically speaking, right now, if you had all these ideal situations in Meru, what's that one thing that you would say, if it was done or is available, then FGM will end in that county? If you had all the resources, all the money, all the time, all the cooperation of police, one thing that would actually could actually be done in Meru that would end FGM.
One thing I know with end FGM in Meru County, actually, Meru County is easier to end FGM more than any other areas I've interacted with. One thing which can be done is community well-being. That is one thing I've done. Whereby community well-being, this FGM is not a problem by its own. FGM is part of the problem. Because most of the families which practice FGM, you find they are poor. They are not well empowered. You empower this family. At the moment I'm talking about empowering, I'm not talking about empowering the mothers. Because most our culture, my culture, is like any other African culture,
Yeah.
is men-headed culture. So when I'm talking about the community involvement,
Yeah.
we involve even the men. Because like if I'm the mother of my daughter, I'm empowered. Let's say for instance, my husband will come and say no, he has a higher authority than me.
Yeah.
That is a typical culture.
Yeah.
So I'm saying for the world of FGM to be conquered in Meru County, we involve everyone. Everyone I mean from the grandfather and grandmother, from the father to the sister, the whole community be involved. We empower everyone in that community through information, sensitizing them. Why are we saying FGM is not good? Because like the way we're saying this is a social norm which has been there, we cannot go all over telling them. You see, the reason why Koja was talking and he was saying we need a homegrown solution. We need someone who understands these people. Someone like me, when I go to the community, I sit down with these people. Something we can discuss. We have our language we speak. These people will listen to me. But when someone else comes from outside, they will say you are coming to fight us. That is the reason why someone who comes from that community will say, no, this is our culture. We have to change it. This 1, 2, 3 thing. And they will listen to that person. So what I'm saying, let the people, let us educate our people. Let them know this is the problem. Why are we fighting this problem? And we give them an alternative. When you want to eradicate such a social norm, you have to give them a better alternative. Actually, the issue here is convince them. Why do you want us to abandon this? And the moment they understand that, it will actually they are the same people who will be now spearheading the fight against FGM. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much. If given all resources, Mr. Murungi, if you given all resources, you had everything, and as a journalist, I know you would be able to speak from different angles. If someone like Kate or someone who wants to end FGM is given all resources all the time, all cooperation, what would that one thing what's that one thing that you would say if it is done, then FGM will end in Meru, if there is one?
May I tell you, local adage as it is that send a thief to catch a thief.
Send a thief to catch a thief.
Catch a thief.
Yeah.
If you want these things to be a thing of us in Meru, let Mwebia fight FGM. Let Antonia fight FGM in Tigania. Let Menti fight FGM in Menti science.
All right.
Without doing that, me being a circumcised, a transition circumcised from Mwebia, I know why many girls are being circumcised.
Yeah.
And I know any deals which are being orchestrated so that you have a girl circumcised.
Yeah.
So a foreigner, as somebody is coming from another sub-tribe or another tribe, will not fight this menace in Mwebia.
Yeah.
Let Kazem be empowered.
Yeah.
Let Nkoja be empowered. Because I know what I can talk with my sister. I know what I can tell my wife, the wife of my brother.
Yeah.
I know the local language which I can use. And I can know the style and the approach.
Yeah.
So bringing other high-heeled and the people who are coming from far to come and fight in Mwebia, they will not get it right. May I tell you, and this what has been happening since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Many NGOs purporting to be anti-FGMs and other people led by even the then director, Javi Kilimo.
Mm-hmm.
They come here in Mwebia, they engage money, and they move out of Mwebia. Meaning also means that's like.
Yeah.
They contract alternative right of passage, which never materialize anything.
Yeah.
The girls who are cocooned in alternative right of passage, they come tomorrow and I lure them into a circumcision arena and they all undergo cuts.
Yeah.
Immediately the airline goes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying with a lot of authoritative that let Mwebia fight FGM in Mwebia. Let Tigania fight FGM in Tigania and let not all brave case organizations or purporting to be NGOs who are doing anything. They are just doing NGOs money and the donors money on nothing. And what they spill the donor mimic.
All right. Those are difficult conversations to have, and many people would actually have a conversation around that. So thank you very much for bringing in. Your point went through that let the locals be empowered to end their problems. So I'm just going to go straight to what people are commenting online. And Letwati Naxon Oleumash from Kajiado says, unfortunately, with mkono refu wa sheria ama wa serikali, that's unfortunately with the long arm of the law, I'm yet to hear of a single case of any Kenyan minor rescued minutes before the cut. We only hear activists with the help of the police arrest the suspected cutters and their accomplices. It raises more questions than answers. That's a comment from Letuati Naxon Oleumash. Thank you very much for that contribution, because mostly we hear actually of cases after and not before. So we should actually have a conversation about why are we mostly getting the reports after the cut and barely getting any reports before the cut is done. So thank you very much for that comment. Godfrey Okumu from Senegal says, social norms are reciprocal expectations, and this makes it complex to change them. Social norms carry severe sanctions if not allowed. Lastly, social norms have social importance or social values within a specific social network or group or ethnic group. So thank you very much for that as well, for that contribution. We really do appreciate your contribution. All right, I think we'll just bring this to a close. Lots of conversations and also topics emerging in regards to why always after and hardly getting reports before the cut is done. I want to bring this to a close. Kate, one more word before we close this.
Okay, what I can answer that question to some extent. The moment you rescue someone who has not undergone FGM, because most have cases which has happened, it becomes more difficult, because when you go to a police station, the normal way the police officers start ridiculing you. What has happened? She has not been cut. What do you want us to do? Because I have such a case where a lady was almost circumcised, her clothes were torn. We're trying to follow up with the police. It became to a dead end. What I can say, a closing word is FGM has no benefit. Actually, it has no benefit at all. It is such a torture to a woman. If you want to empower a woman as a man, as a parent, or anyone, take that girl to school. And the moment you take that girl to school, she will, and let us look for ways. Our older women, I can say that our older women, like the way we are told, they should up their game, because they are complaining. The reason why our culture is eroding is because of FGM. The cat never used to make a woman, but there is the training which used to go on in that seclusion. The training where a lady used to be taught how to be a woman, how to be a mother. The same training can be done without someone being cut. Our grandparents, take your grandchildren, train them the ways of your culture, train them how to become good wives, train them in future how to take care of a man. These teachings, they are still important. That is the reason why you find, like where I come from, my brothers are complaining. These girls are not circumcised, they don't know. Tell your mothers, the mother-in-laws, train your daughter-in-laws. The parent, everyone, it is each and everyone's, I can say it is a duty to get a good community. It is not an individual. Let us bring the next generation to be a better generation than us. If I can say, let us pass what we have learned to this generation. And the only way that can be passed, it is through the word of mouth, not inflicting pain on anyone. That is what I can say.
Thank you very much. Murungi, how do you say that? What's your take on that? First, starting off with always discovering cases after.
What I'm saying, even the Holy Book says, train the child the way you want him to grow, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. I contradict what God has said. This is the way of life. This is the way of our living. Me, when I was arraigned in a circumcision arena, someone who carried my mantle is my sister who undergone a cut. So it is not to stop a cut in Meru. It's not a lip service. But if they can, teach them. Which I know it will require a total of combative effort of both locals, elite from the village, to come in and try to train, to teach, to educate, civic education on why it is important to educate a girl child rather than the use of a razor blade.
All right.
Again, let the community be provided a perspective of importance of inter-tribal marriage.
All right.
So that
all right, we are losing him as well. But he's been talking about just the importance of bringing these children up, knowing that FGM is wrong. So he says, bring up the child knowing what is right and wrong, and they'll be able to make a choice. All right, so those are some of the interventions. I think when we'll be able to connect back to Kate as well as Murungi, then we'll be able to conclude this. But thank you very much for holding on. Lots of comments coming in as well. This is the End FGM Live, and I definitely look forward to having more conversations, deeper conversations in that regard. We lost them, but thank you very much for again having this conversation and holding on to this time. This is the End FGM Live, produced by Tony Mwebia and Antonia Sophia, and me, your host, Jeremiah Kipainoi. Just reading two more comments from Letuati. He says, Anti-FGM Act is clear that anyone arrested with the tools meant to the cut is punishable by the law. The panelists' argument vindicates my point that the NGOs want the minors get cut for them to have an exhibit or proof stroke evidence, which is the wound. Very sad. All right. So we'll still continue having these conversations later with other counties, as well as try get back to Meru so that we can have much more conversations on why FGM actually still runs at this time. This is the End FGM Live, bringing this to a close again. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, produced by Tony Mwebia. Unfortunately, we've lost Kate as well as our guest, but we just bring this to a close in that manner. All right, so till tomorrow, just stay safe and make sure that you protect those that are closer to you in during this time of the End FGM of this pandemic. Also remember to tune in from Monday to Friday to this show. We'll always be live from Monday to Friday talking about FGM in these 22 hotspot counties. Till tomorrow, stay safe and keep those close to yourself.
Tune in to the End FGM live show from Monday to Friday at 5:30 p.m. East African Time. Find and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at End FGM Live. Reach out to us for inquiries, to report a case, or to support the show on WhatsApp +254 73 400 7674.